Just kidding.
The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan, we talk Dreamcast.
Shall we play a game?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nude Clan, the video game podcast where we are actually going to talk about video games this time.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Imagine that,
yeah. We're going to talk about the Dreamcast console.
Console none of us had.
Yeah, that none of us had, right? None of you guys. Okay, yeah, I saw one once, but that was it.
Saw one.
Yeah, I saw it, dude. And I saw the weird fucking retarded controller.
The one that has like a screen on it?
Yeah. And like you can play mini games on that. It's like a memory card. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do another history of video games because I'm carrying on Joe's tradition. The torch was passed to me, right? And I was diving into this generation, and I was like, I could do something real quick, just whip it up and like have all of the consoles talked about, but like there's a lot of history with every other console other than the Dreamcast for me personally. In this generation, we've got the Dreamcast, we've got the Xbox, the PlayStation 2, and the GameCube. Like there's a lot there. So I decided that from now on I'm going to make it about each console for these episodes because there's just enough. There's enough because this is the time when gaming started to change.
There's a lot more per system.
There's that. There's we started getting the advent of online gaming. Like that was starting to become a real thing. Lots of crazy changes. The wars between Sega and Nintendo finally fizzled out after this. There's a lot of shit that goes into these gens. So I'm going to start taking it a little bit slower, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper into each of these consoles. I think this time, obviously, I'm doing the Dreamcast. Next time, I'll probably do the next unfamiliar one for me, which is the GameCube, and then we'll do Xbox, and then I'll do PlayStation 2. But that'll be a while before we get to all of those. But that's what we're doing today. I'm excited to see what you guys... I've got a little quizzical for you guys.
A quizzical?
Quizzical, a couple testicles. They're both for you guys. Lots of questions.
Quizzical, he said quizzically.
Yeah.
Testically.
That's right. Lots of questions for you guys that you probably won't know the fucking answers to because it's a Dreamcast and one of us has seen one once and that's it. So, it's, it was one of those ones, a lot of people like it though. Like, I feel like it's got a positive.
I know 3 games that were
Wasn't the Dreamcast the first... Wait, I better not give away anything.
I think the answer is yes to whatever you're saying, but don't say it because it's going to be one of the questions.
Yeah, I kind of realized that as I was saying that, so I'm going to hold on to that.
Yeah, you keep that nugget inside. You clench that sphincter.
I can't prairie dog this time. No peeks for the
I don't want to see you fucking prairie dogging.
Yeah, you look down and it just sucks it back up. That's something you don't see every day.
Did I just see that?
Yeah.
No sneak peeks for you. You're gonna get the full fucking.
Gonna get the full loaf. Yeah, yeah.
When the time comes.
Shit. Yeah. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. Apparently, watching Cameron take a shit, and also talking about the Dreamcast. But before we get into our discussion, let's take an hour and talk about what we played and do some questions. You guys ever feel like the format is kind of jacked?
Yeah.
Because like I kind of feel that way sometimes because it's like, well, the episode is going to be titled Sega Dreamcast, but we're not going to actually talk about the Dreamcast until like 30 minutes in.
Well, if you want this section to take 20 minutes, let's let it only take 20
Speed
minutes.
through,
Yeah, we will. Don't worry. We got this. So, Craig, what have you been playing this week?
I played a little bit of Smash Bros. And some Mass Effect and Battlefield 5 on Friday night.
Okay,
And
nice.
that's it.
Nice. Cameron?
So, I played mostly Mass Effect this week. Played a little bit of Battlefield 5 this weekend.
Okay, nice.
The more I start to stream, I feel like I kind of want to populate the back wall of, from where I'm recording with stuff. So I'm wondering if I should invest in putting up wall hanger stuff, like have a neon sign in the background, have a trophy from every game I beat that I buy and put up in the background for a while.
That would be kind of cool. Or like a piece of cloth or something. Like we get the logos, all the Nude Clan logos on, just something to look at. Something like that. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, and because I don't know. I played around with the green screen, but the green screen's kind of a nightmare.
Yeah,
So it has to be extremely lit.
yeah, it has to be super lit and taut, so no fucking folds in the
Loose,
cloth
yeah.
at all.
Yeah, and I don't like the green screen look, to be honest. I don't care for it. I used to think it was the coolest, but like that was in like the 90s, I don't care now. So I kind of feel you on just having like an interesting backdrop.
Yeah.
With just like some game shit.
Yep.
Just like
I
whatever
already
you're
have
playing.
some of my
or-
Funko Pops back there. What else do I have back there? I have my statue for Fallout 3 back there. Stuff like that.
Yeah, that would be a cool little thing. Like,
I was thinking like every game I need to find a trophy or something for beating it. I was thinking of getting the Normandy statue for Mass Effect.
Oh, nice.
But then I was thinking about it. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do it because, like, what if I have to play another game like fucking Gun Gal?
yeah. There is another Gal Gun.
Oh.
And we
Gal
also
Gun
have...
2.
I feel like I might make you guys play Resident Evil Outbreak 2 first.
Nah.
Hey, man,
Hard
if it
pass.
wins.
Hard pass.
If it wins.
Hard pass.
It's not bad.
Is there like a
pass.
local multiplayer?
No.
It's only online? That's
It's
dumb.
only if you cheese it. I mean, you don't have to cheese it, but you
So
kind of have to.
that's why you want us to get into it, because you want to play it online with someone, and no one's online playing it right now.
Well, there were a few listeners that said they'd play it today.
And so you're just like, oh, how can I get a guarantee of people to play this game with me? Oh, let's get it fucking nominated.
Well, I mean, if we nominate it, we could all go through the campaign online, just like one scenario a week. There's only 5 per game. And I beat the first scenario on easy in like 7 minutes. Not
I don't
counting
even
the
know
10
if it's a
minutes of
bad
loading
game or
time.
not. I just don't like it being.
Well, the
I
first
don't
one
like
on the
someone
back.
coming up with a maniacal plan to get us to play a game.
on the back of the first one, the second thing on here is like best PS2 game, which
I-
I highly doubt. But it's on there
It's like
as a
just
promotional
quote.
thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
Best
it's from
PS2 game.
Gamers.com. Teen People said 4.5 out of 5, and IGN said best adventure game.
Yeah, man. IGN knows.
IGN doesn't know shit.
IGN has great game guides, but that's really about all they know. Like,
They also never rate a game lower than 8.5 anymore.
yeah, they used to be bastards about games. Like, you'd play something and be like, wow, that was like the best thing I've ever played. And they're like, 8. You're like, shit, really? But now they just blow it. I mean, IGN isn't as bad as...
9.5 out of 10. It has a little something for everyone.
Yeah. IGN's not as bad as some of the other sites, though. Like, they're no Polygon or...
No, they're not. But they also don't really have like big ass reviews on things. They just are like, yeah, this game is like this.
Yeah.
And they do videos a lot for their reviews now.
Yeah. They're just trying to give you the information. They're not trying to spin it.
I'm here for my moisture for the week.
Spin
Yeah.
it to win it.
Using my wife's fucking
Body lotion.
body lotion on your
Yeah.
hands, yeah.
It's the only time of the week I ever get to lotion anything. So
Why don't you just buy some lotion?
He doesn't have to. He only needs it once a week. It's here.
because then I'd have to buy a tissue box, and everyone else will jump to conclusions.
Yeah. Yeah, we would come to conclusions that you would then resent us for. And then tell us you're going to tell things about us on the show. I listened to some of those
I
old
mean, you
ones
don't
a
have
while
to
ago.
buy lotion and a tissue box at the same time.
It's like, you don't understand, they come bundled. It's just how it
They
is.
come bundled.
Yeah.
Men's lotion is bundled with fucking tissue paper.
Yeah, with like mint cooling tissue, so when you get done like polishing that knob at Mach speed, you can put something on it to cool it off. Get that cooling mint. Dude, I can't.
There's
Oh no,
there's
it was
like a special smokers pack that also comes with a pack of cigarettes too.
Yeah. I was trying to remember what there was, like something that went on my asshole that was minty fresh, and I was like trying to remember what it was, and I remembered it was like, I think it was someone's. I had shampoo, and it was like uber mint, and like it ran down my back, and I was just like, woo! It's just like, whoa, my god, that is so minty fresh on my asshole. Like, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
You can get some medicated, crack powder that you could put up in there. That'll
That's
be
true.
all fresh.
Yeah.
Get you that little
That
sphincter
minty.
clenching mint.
Yeah, dude, it was minty. Like,
It's
I don't
just
know
the
why.
menthol.
Yeah, it's the menthol. Yeah, the
Yeah.
menthol feeling on your asshole is just, it's quite the ride. Wakes you up. Wakes you right on up. I think it was shampoo, though.
So now you know when it's time for him to try the strap on. Some menthol lube will really get things going for
That's
him.
right, yeah. Just give me that menthol and we can do whatever. So, my week, I played a shitload, like so many hours of Final Fantasy The Four Heroes of Light. I almost beat it before work on Thursday, and I just called off to finish it. So I was like, fuck it. Like, I'm not going to make any goddamn money anyway. So I just did. And I did beat it.
How many hours?
According to the game, 35? 36? According to the DS, 50, I think.
Why
Leaving
is there
it
such
on.
a discrepancy?
Leaving it on and not fucking... And whenever I died, like, you lose some of your items, your gems that you use to upgrade, and sometimes instead of just accepting that and going back to town, because you don't really get game overs, you just, like, everybody dies and then you respawn at the last town you were at, I would turn it off and then load it back up. But if you think that's a discrepancy, so it was 38:05:07 according to the in-game, and 50 hours and 11 minutes according to the DS. But Joe's in-game time was like 34 hours, and according to the DS, it was 74 hours and 46 minutes.
Jeebus.
Because he left it on one night, and he was doing like 10 damage to this boss, and he just had auto battler. But the boss would, when he got low health, he would heal himself for like 300 plus health, and so it was just an endless cycle. So he couldn't cheese his fucking way through like he did last time.
Nice.
Did he really try to set it to where it auto battle for him and he just wouldn't play the game?
Yeah.
I don't count that. I don't count that as beat.
Well, I mean, he did have to go back and actually beat it. But
No, but see how many other bosses or just playthrough he was able to just play on auto battle?
Oh, that's the
This is the
entirety of
third
his
one.
Final Fantasy IV playthrough.
yeah, well, the end anyway.
No, the entirety. He figured
How do
out
you
auto
count that
battle
as
was a
beat?
thing, and then he started using it constantly.
How do you
and then he
count that
set
as
it up
beating
so
the
that he
game?
could level up to 99 in like 8 hours.
I don't know. Well, it's especially...
How is that not cheating the game?
I mean, it's cheap, but the game does have the function of auto battler. It's not like what he did with FF7, where he put a clamp on his circle button, and then he had auto, so like he would have one person cure for a light amount of damage for everybody, and then like a couple of people attack, and he had like a clamp down, and then like something tying the controller, so he would do circles in the forest, a low-level forest, and then he just left it on, and like he was killing stuff all day. I don't know, man. It's like, this is like one of those free-to-play MMOs where you just set your guy up to shoot at a target for like 12 hours, and then you go to work, and then you come back and like, oh, he's a better archer. I'm like, why are you playing this game? Like, you're not even playing the game half the time. You just let the game play itself, so that occasionally you get to come in and go do something fun, and then you go back to the grind that's not really a grind. It's just the game masturbating, basically. It's the game beating itself off. Like, why is this a thing? What the fuck is there to have? You know what I'm talking about? Like those MMOs where like I would find my buddies, my really nerdy buddies that I used to hang out with a lot. They would just have like their character just attacking a straw guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
which MMO?
I can't remember what it was, but I'm like, why are you playing this? Like, you're not. I know you're not playing it, but like, what is the appeal if you have to make your guy shoot at targets for like 12 hours and then you're a good archer? Like, it's like 90%, 99% prep, 1% payoff. Like, it sounds really boring.
Probably the experience you gain from attacking a straw person's by far less than you get by actually playing the low-level parts of the game.
Yeah,
to level up
probably.
to that point, and so they just wanted to do something that wouldn't put them in danger and just leave it on for hours and get the same effect.
That sounds so lame, though. It's
It
like
does
that's not
sound
even a
lame.
game.
You're not playing the game.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That's like when I saw Dwayne playing Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and like it's just an auto battler like all day, and every once in a while he'll tap the screen a few times, get a new battle going, and then it's the game just playing itself, and I'm like, why would you?
To be fair, Brave Exvius always plays itself.
Yeah, but like, why would you make a game that just plays itself? That's like a game just like
That's a question for Square Enix.
masturbating. You know what I mean? Like, it's the game playing with itself. Like, why do you create a creature, a program that just does what that is? Like, there's no point to making it. Like, you made the need, and then you filled the need with the fucking game itself, and then you just like, here's this thing you can watch play. It's like a movie that's
I know for some games
really boring.
it's to take the edge off of grinding.
Yeah, but like
but with like Final Fantasy 12, it's more like you have to like set up what your characters are going to do, and it just makes it easier for when you want to do something else. You can like switch to
yeah,
have it actually be you in control.
yeah.
And you don't always have to have all your characters on the gambits either, so
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems like it's not it's like a nothing. It's not even a game anymore. It's just like a visual experience that you oddly are drawn to.
But then you can set up to where you don't even have to be present for those levels.
Yeah, it's dumb. Like, what's the point of the game? Especially if there's tons of content to go play. Like, why are you cheesing it to get done faster? Like, just go play the extra stuff.
It doesn't count as playing the game, in my opinion. But, you know, choices are made.
Yeah. So I played just a ton of that game this week. I did launch up Horizon Chase Turbo. I played 1 or 2 races, and then I was like, I don't really feel like playing this. And then I played Resident Evil Outbreak and Resident Evil Outbreak File 2 this week. I've been working on getting online with both of those games, and I have achieved online with Outbreak 2, but it's real bad, and I don't know what I need to change to make it not real bad. But I will be trying to get some people online to play that with me in the coming weeks. And I think I'm probably just going to play through both of the games here in a little bit, just because it's been a while. Which I can see because I died on normal on the first map, which I have memorized. I just wanted to go get all the secrets, and I got fucked while doing so. So, played those, and then I started Final Fantasy Explorers, the Final Fantasy that really wishes it was Monster Hunter. Tons of bullshit tiny quests, Monster Hunter. Almost no story, Monster Hunter. And a shitload of item grinding and like material grinding, Monster Hunter. With Final Fantasy things, so it seems fine. I kind of want you to play it with me, Craig.
Wait till we tell him that Monster Hunter had a Final Fantasy crossover.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
It totally
with
did.
Monster Hunter World.
Yeah.
Except there is a much bigger story in Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, that one seems to be more of a game with like a nice story. With the other ones though, like the PSP one that Craig had, it was just like
Yeah,
hundreds of
let's
hours
let's
of
go hunt a monster.
yeah, which is cool, but like
It's totally for the like online play for those games. That's really what it is.
yeah, and that's why I kind of want you to join if you pick it up.
With
Or-
the Explorers?
Yeah.
I already have it.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
How-
I
have
bought
you played it?
I bought it forever ago. I started it, like, when I bought it, played, like, 10 minutes, and I was like, I'll just wait till Schweiss and Joe get to this.
You waited a long time, Craig.
I certainly did.
I've waited
but
years for this
I only
moment.
bought. I bought it for like $15. So
Oh, really?
It wasn't bad yet.
I think mine wasn't very expensive either, and I've like piecemealed the collector's edition together. Because on Square Enix's store, when you spend money on their store, you get like points, and you can spend those points on things. And like, there's a couple of collector's editions that I don't have, and Explorers is one of the ones I didn't get, and it's not really available for any sort of reasonable price. And so I can order the art book, the little CD sampler, and the DS case through the store. So I have all of it, but I think the CD. So I will have another collector's edition essentially. So that was kind of cool. I mean, I have to spend an outrageous amount of money on their site, which
No statue.
no statue, sadly.
They don't
the
really
next,
have a static character to have a statue of.
yeah, that does make it kind of tough. You could do like a summon statue though. They got the summons in the games.
Yeah.
I am getting a statue for the FF7 though. Do you want me to tell you how much that cost me after tax? I don't know if I've told you.
$450.
No, that makes it sound better. It's $380.
That's disgusting.
You know how much it is for the mid-tier collectors? $70. And it's a foot-long motorcycle with a giant cloud Kai Arts play figure. It kind of makes me mad, like, because I feel like the statues are way cooler than the like bendy toy things, and I wish they would just go with statues every time. I don't know why they do the play arts. Like, who's playing?
Those 14 statues are pretty badass.
Yeah, but like look at the 14 and then look at the Noctis. I mean, admittedly, I do have him like grabbing his crotch right now, which is pretty sweet. But it would be cooler if it was just one stagnant thing, right? Because
Yeah.
it just looks like a toy, and you could see
It is a toy.
the bendy arms. Yeah, but it's like, why is it a toy? Who the fuck is playing with these little guys? Like, Jesus, who? And if you are, why are you paying so much
It's
for
like-
Final Fantasy ones?
It's like someone trying to use the Gunpla as an action figure. It's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Dude, those things are way too fragile for that. Way too
Exactly.
fragile.
What are you doing?
We gotta bring out the
You
rubber
gotta
cement.
like you gotta get like the gloves, and you gotta like have fucking tweezers picking them up because you're gonna fucking shatter it by touch.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get why when they have produced such high quality things, they keep giving these little play
It's
arts.
cheaper that
Well,
way.
I think.
But then
no,
they fuck you
dude.
with the price.
yeah, the thing is, like,
course they
that's
do.
disgusting is that these things are always like $100.
Yeah, it was
Like, I
$200
wanna-
for each collector's
I
edition.
actually want to buy the Batman ones, you know, like the Amano one and the Nomura one and all those things, but like, I ain't fucking doing it. I ain't spending like $100 on fucking these toys.
yeah,
I can't do it.
yeah. It's because it is a toy and it looks cheap.
If it was like 40, I would think about it more, but nah,
Yeah.
I can't conceivably do it at the 90.
Yeah, and there's one guy who bought two. He pre-ordered 2 copies of the FF7 Day 1 edition or whatever. I think it's the first class. That's what it's called. $380 after taxes, man. That's a lot of money. That's a crazy amount of fucking money.
Well, the fact that it's like a Play Arts cloud and not like a statue with the motorcycle, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb, and I think they're totally just using it for money, like this whole 7 remake, as I knew they would.
Dude, they have that Advent Children 2-part statue of like Cloud and Sephiroth like going at each other with the stuff falling. You know,
Yeah,
both of those pieces separately are like $400.
yeah.
So it's like an $800 statue to put them together.
Yeah, they're milking that shit hard.
It's
now.
disgusting.
And people are going for it.
I want so many gaming statues, but they get to be ridiculous. Like they have this one Alucard statue from Symphony of the Night, and it kind of takes on like a different visual when you look at it from any angle, and like the way that it's designed is pretty fucking awesome. But it's like a $300 statue, and I'm like, well, I guess I can't have it.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's crazy. I don't know. But yeah, that's where I am with Final Fantasy. But yeah, you should join us though, Craig, because I think we played like 2 hours, and we're gonna try to play probably pretty late Tuesday night and then Wednesday during the day. So we can try to catch each other whenever we can.
Okay,
but you can do a lot of it by yourself. I imagine most of the game is playable solo. So you can get
probably, although it's very MMO-y.
Yeah, so you should play with other people, and I'll try to get more of the Ultima listeners to get in on it, and we can maybe have, some other people online when you're online. But you should join. So I played a little bit of that, only a few hours, just to catch up to where Joe was, and I guess I played some Injustice 2. I mean, it looks like I beat it according to my trophies, but that was Alex's brother.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I have to beat that and Bendy and the Ink Machine, apparently, because those are finished on my profile. Because they like to buy games on my thing.
Do they not have their own thing?
They do, but then, Alex doesn't want to buy stuff on their profile, because then I can't play it. And so I'm like, I kind of just want you guys to not use my profile, but at the same time, I don't mind getting free games.
You can if their primary PS4 is your PS4.
But only if my PS4 is my primary as well, and it's not. Jake's is my primary.
Yeah, that's right.
So that I can get all Jake's games. So yeah, I have games that are beaten on my thing that I didn't even play. But I have them now, so I can. I just don't know if I will.
Well, Injustice 2 is awesome, and I have it. What version do you have?
I think we have the big one. I don't know.
The ultimate one that has Hellboy and the
Ninja
Hellboy's
Turtles. In there, yeah.
Nice.
I don't really like Injustice, though. I don't like the way it plays.
Why
it's
not?
not as good as Mortal Kombat.
That's a lie.
It's just slower, and I don't like the control scheme.
It's not slower.
I don't know.
Injustice 2 is like twice as fast as Mortal Kombat 11.
I don't know. I don't like Injustice as much. I'm sorry.
Just gotta find a character you like.
There aren't any.
It's a lie.
Nah, there's probably some good ones, but I need to play it a little more. But that is what we have been playing this week. The real question, guys, the only question that matters, has anyone beaten a game this week?
Nope.
No.
I did. I beat Final Fantasy, The Four Heroes of Light. So, that brings the Nude Clan Hog for the hosts. Caleb Craig, King Hog, 32 games beaten. I am in second place with a sad 22 games beaten. Cameron is in third place, somehow only 9 games beaten on the year. 8 months in. How do you get away with this, Cameron? How the fuck? I mean, I guess most of it's...
This is an accomplishment.
You're trying to lowball it?
Was he have like 2 extra ones?
The Surge was extra.
Yeah, and Star Wars Battlefront.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 was accidental extra. Yeah, so he would be at 7 games if he played it naturally. I feel like maybe, Craig, we're giving ourselves more reviews than we should. Or we just play a lot of extra stuff, which we do.
We do.
I don't know.
We play a lot of extra stuff.
But I'm still losing by a lot, and Cameron's losing by even more. Guys, keep your hog up. We're still doing the Hog League thing. I was just letting it accumulate so that you guys could get a chance to catch up, because I kind of fucked it up. But... Whoa, Cameron is down.
You all right there, Cam?
The chair does not lean as far as he thought.
No, it doesn't. He didn't all the way
I
fall
never-
back,
I didn't
though.
go all the way down.
Yeah, not quite all the way down.
Caught myself.
He was doing like the Matrix, like dodge.
That's the second, like the first time I started leaning back in this chair real far when Zach was here. I started to go, but caught myself beforehand. And this time I just went for a real good long stretch, and that's all it took.
Yeah. Sometimes, man, I don't know. You guys have seen me go down in these chairs.
Yeah.
They can get you.
I miss your old chair, the one that would just dump you out every so often.
Yeah.
The one that's back broke.
Yeah, you just sit it just slightly the wrong way, and poof, you just be out of the
Just
chair.
pours you out.
You miss that chair?
I kind of do sometimes. Yeah, I missed it when Joe. I was sitting over here and Joe like got done with something like a big edit, and he like leaned back all the way and just watching him like swing his arms as he goes down. It was pretty great, especially because he was like, "Oh man, this chair is super fucked up. I can't lean back in it." And then like 5 minutes later, just whoosh, just down, just fucking hovering at the precipice of falling and then falling.
This other chair that you refuse to throw away for some reason, you just lean too far to one side and it'll dump you out too.
Yeah, it'll dump some ass off the side. The horizontal dump ass isn't as like surprising though. Like the vertical one, there's like almost nothing you could do to stop it. If you're going down, you're probably going down. But yeah, let's answer a couple questions. Craig, what do we got? What do we got
All
this
right,
week?
so the first one is from Dorko the Doom Guy. He says, what's the hardest game to track down to buy that you've ever gotten?
Ooh, this is a fun one for you, Craig.
And then also there's the phenomenon of where you just can't beat a boss or level in a game, and then you stop playing for a few weeks or months, and then come back and somehow beat it. But let's see, hardest game to track down and buy. Definitely Valkyrie Profile. It took me years.
Were
to
you
find that
actually
fucking
trying to
game.
find it, though?
Yes, I was. Because after I beat it on the PSP, I kind of wanted to get a physical copy of it on PS1. And then I found out it was super expensive and that it was nowhere. And then Schweiss and I happened on the most magical buy of all time.
Yeah.
Where
yeah.
this one guy was selling his entire collection. And,
Yeah, his whole JRPG collection.
And that's when I got, like, Breath of Fire 3, fucking Persona 2, and Valkyrie Profile all at once. It's a fucking great day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. There were a lot of good games in there that day.
Yeah, there
super
were.
pricey, but yeah.
You got that colored disc collection thing of Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, of that okay game that we played just a little while ago. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you want? What do you want my phone?
We'll look at the question again. I guess it was hard to... I don't know. It's tough because now you can just order stuff online. Like, it's not really difficult to find things in the same way.
I had issues trying to track down and buying Armored Core 5.
Yeah, someone probably purged it from the public eye.
I went to go buy a copy of Armored Core 5 off of Amazon. I looked at everything. It was legit. It was from a U.S. seller. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger, but it was a European copy that was sent to me. So,
yeah, I mean, it's still kind of hard even with the with online stuff, but it's mostly about the price and not
that's true.
not the availability.
It was tough to come across Outbreak File 2 because I used to see it occasionally in the used game stores, and then it was just gone, like forever and ever and ever. And it's not a great game, so like it's not like people are just hoarding it. And it never got greatest hits, I don't think, so it wasn't like one that they did a reprint of. And I ordered it online, and there were plenty of copies online. And I paid probably what I paid when I got it the first time, which is kind of crazy that it's held value somehow, maybe through its obscurity. Those were kind of tough to get. I think Dawn of Mana, when I bought that, I was pretty excited that I found it because I had never seen it before. But I was like, oh, this is part of our playthrough. I need to buy this. And so I picked that up, and then also Secret of Mana, That was another one that I was like kind of stoked about finding, both in great condition, black label and everything. I don't know if they went greatest hits, but I assume that was pretty cool. And I don't know, even finding stuff like Parasite Eve, black label, like 1 and 2. Not that 2 deserved anything sales wise to ever have a green greatest hits label, but I don't know. There's something about finding those old PS1 games that I really love.
Yeah.
You know, like PS2, it's not old enough to really get like super excited about finding old games for, and the value
some of
of
them I would say yes.
The value of them's not as crazy as some of those PS1 games because
For PS2, for me, it's more like nostalgia or like games that I had like played a little bit of that I wanted to like, try again.
Yeah.
Like I went on a spending spree a little like a year ago and bought some PS2 games that I knew my friends had that I wanted to play, like that Chaos Legion and a few other things. So I bought those, and then like Castlevania Curse of Darkness.
Yeah.
Just because like I had never played that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I don't know, there's just something about those old games that I really love collecting. And I kind of, the two dudes in a NES show?
Yeah.
They basically, I think it's the same guys. They went on a quest to like find every NES game. And I was thinking the other day, I was like, I kind of want to do that for PS2. I'll just have like fucking 1,800 PS2 games in my house.
I think there's more than that.
There's a fucking obscene. And I Googled it, and Google, like, it came up with this result and it said at least 156, and I was dying. I was like, oh, really? There's 100.
You know what? I believe that. I believe there are at least
gotta be
156.
Yeah, Google's like, there's got to be at least 156 of these fuckers. I'm like, I feel like I've touched at least 400 different ones in my life. Like, thank you, though. Thank you for the at least 156. Like, what the fuck?
Maybe I wasn't sure what I wanted to try and calculate. Like,
it was just like, fuck it. Just lowball it and say at least this amount so that we're right.
because there's like Japanese games that never came here, and same with like games that were made in Europe and whatever.
I think I would just go
Australia.
like U.S. release. All U.S. release PS2 games. I think that'd be kind of cool.
But the Japanese only released games would be more valuable.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They would have some value. I just think it would be cool to have that collection, that wall of PS2.
Yeah. It would be so many like
You also
different
have to have
versions
every
of like
version
FIFA and Madden, and
And you have to have every version of the console that was released.
For the PS2? I think they only had the 2.
yeah, it was just the Fat Boy and the Slim, right?
Yeah.
Fat Boy Slim.
Yeah, Fat Boy
Yeah.
Slim. Fat Boy is way better than Slim.
That's true. It's also the only one that you can use the multi-tap on. Can't use it.
Yeah.
You can't use it on the Slims.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work. I think there was a way to do it.
You might have to get like an adapter or something.
Yeah, there was something that we used to do. But the fat ones are
Fat
the
ones are superior.
Fat ones are keepers. That's what it is with the PS2. PS3 arguably as well,
Yeah.
but only if you get the backwards compatible one. If not, then your hard drive is total ass.
Yeah, it's better to just get the Slim.
60 gigs on mine. Craig's got thousands of games, and I can't fucking download any of them because there's no room. It's a fucking rip-off.
Just gotta play and then download the ones that you want after you delete the other ones.
I kind of want to... That hard drive I bought for my PS4 that I said was no longer compatible, I kind of want to plug it into the PS3 and see if it'll work for that.
I think they did have an update for PS3 that let you do that, but I don't remember.
I'll have to check it, because if not, I just have a 2 terabyte waste of space.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to format it again.
I probably will, but it's like the type is not compatible with PS4 at all. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? It was like a month ago, and now you guys are like, no, it's too slow. It's too slow.
Well,
Go buy a new one
well, hopefully it works for PS3 then, so you can have like the entirety of
of your collection.
both of our libraries.
Yeah, well, mostly it's yours, but yeah.
I know it's mostly mine because I have like 10 times the amount you do.
Yeah, I don't buy digital very often, so that's why. It's not like I have a ton of physical PS3 games either, though.
No, you have like what, 10 maybe?
Yeah, maybe tops 15. Not great. But yeah, I kind of want to do that. I think that'd be a fun little like thing to accomplish. But you're right. There's going to be like every year of every sports game, and there's a shitload of sports games.
Oh, I know. And like PS2, they had more than just the Maddens and the FIFAs. There was like the other, like
they had the lives,
the great value versions.
Yeah, they had the lives, the 2Ks. They had ESPN basketball, which was actually really fucking fun.
Yeah, then you got all those Medal of Honors and Call of Duties.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be stupidly expensive first off, and I think it's gonna be not fair.
For some of them, like all those, like the sports games, are gonna be like a cent.
But I think what they did on their thing, they didn't buy any online. They had to find it like in a shop, was their rule, or like trade it with somebody. Which does kind of make it a challenge, because then you have to actually find the game. You can't just order it, because if you go online, you can find anything online. Like it's not hard to find stuff online.
Well, you have to get like a checklist and be like, all right, you got any of these games?
Yeah. I mean, after a while, I think you'll probably amass most of them pretty quickly, and then you'll know the little nuggets of gold, the gold mine games that you have to hunt down. Like you'll have them memorized. If you get down to, like, double digits, anyway. If it's, like, fucking 600 that you have to memorize, you're probably not going to remember.
Oh, man, you know what's a PS2 game that I kind of want to get that's also absurdly expensive?
What?
It's that Rule of Rose.
Oh, yeah.
It's supposed to be, like, really fucked up.
Yeah, I think someone I know was talking about that. I don't remember who it was. But yeah, there's a lot of like rando PS2 games out there that are just like fucking.
I had never heard of it until someone brought it up, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I looked it up. I was like, "Oh,
yeah, yeah." There's a lot of like shitty horror games.
The game is like $250. I was like, "Fuck, dude."
Yeah. I think it'd be cool to do that though. I don't know if I would set up those same rules, but I think that does kind of make it more fun, because then one of the guys had to like travel.
Yeah,
because like a game store in another state had it, and he like drove out there and picked it up. I think that was one of the last ones.
I mean, it was more satisfying to be able to find, Valkyrie Profile and all those other games.
Yeah,
like,
in store, it just feels cooler. And like the idea of like the perfect yard sale, like the kid who went on his mission who was a collector, and his mom's like, he doesn't need this when he gets back, and it's like, yes.
I know. Every time I
Thank
see
God.
like, a yard sale sign, I'm like, I always want to go, but then I'm like, they're never gonna have anything.
Yeah. That's how I feel when I see those war chests, the Diablo and fucking war chests at DI. I'm like, oh, someone's gonna be mad when they get home. Where's Diablo 2? Oh, I gave it to the DI. What? They sold it for like $3. What the fuck, man? That's expensive. Had the little guide in there, like the game, the expansion. You fucking gave it away for free. Yeah.
It's like $20 though.
It's not that bad, but still, it's awesome.
Yeah, you can get Warcraft 3 on Amazon for like $20-$25.
Yeah, it's about the chest though, the war chest, man.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
Big box. Oh, well, it was more before. But yeah, I kind of want to do that, and that'll kind of increase the amount of rare games I run into and buy. But what was the other half? What's the other half of that? It was
the phenomenon of like not being able to beat a boss and quitting, and then playing it like a couple weeks to a month later, and then beating it.
We can't really do that with Nude Clan, but I have done that where like I've been so stuck on somebody, and then I like quit for the day. And then I come back the next day and I just fucking steamroll. That happened a few times in Cuphead. Like when I got stuck on the fucking the cuckoo clock guy, I was like just getting annihilated, and I was like, Jesus Christ, dude! I don't know how I'm gonna beat this guy. And then I like played it multiplayer on lunch with my buddy Kent at work, and he got further than I did, and he was able to like dodge the feather move that he does, where it's like feathers everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that doesn't seem that bad. And then I get out, and on my last break, I just totally annihilated him. Like I barely got touched by the guy, and I was like, wow, that was really fucking easy. Now to go get raped by the next boss, the fucking Dr. Robot fuck guy in that game. Horrifying. So it's happened a few times with me. I usually don't let him sit that long though, and if I do, I have a tendency to start the game over again just because it's been so long. I don't know though. I feel like I complete most of them And it's like, if I'm gonna beat it, I'm gonna beat it until it's done. Like, I'm not gonna leave it.
Yeah, there have been a few times where like I'll play a game and then play it like a week later and then be able to beat the boss. But I feel like that's mostly just RNG and like the boss moves.
Yeah. Sometimes you just get luckier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really all it is. Because like every time you play like an RPG or you play Cuphead or whatever, like the boss, something is going to change to the point where you can beat it, and it's going to be, oh well, the boss didn't use that fuckery move like 27 times in a row. So it's like, well, all right then. I guess I can beat it now that the fuckery has passed.
Yeah, that's how it was in that 4 Heroes of Light. Sometimes I would finally crawl my way through the dungeon and get to the final boss, and he would do the one thing that'll fuck me, and sometimes he wouldn't. And so it's like, it's all about just getting there and getting lucky in the beginning, and then just staying lucky sometimes.
Yeah.
So he doesn't turn your healer to stone, and you don't have any items to fix the bitch. You just fucking die, slowly get killed. Yeah. I guess I got stuck really hardcore in that Lord of the Rings Third Age RPG. I think it was on one of the fights against the Wraith King.
Mm-hmm.
He is fucking sick. And I've heard that the end boss is like way worse than the one I got stuck on, so I'm like, fuck, dude. But I never went back, though. It wasn't something where I came back and I could suddenly do it. I came back and I still lost, and I was like, fuck this game. I stopped playing it. But yeah, I don't know. What about you, Cameron? You ever have that? Where you just come back and you're suddenly amazing?
Well, it's not just video game comparison, but it can be really any difficult, hard task that when you're frustrated and tired, you often don't do it in the most efficient way. And then when you go to sleep, come back a little bit later and try again, then you realize it's actually a lot easier just because you have more of your mind to throw out the task.
Yeah. It's the thing
I
of
don't
like...
know, man. Dark Souls was the opposite for me. I needed to get mad in order to get good.
Yeah, I don't think I got good when I was mad. I don't think I got good at all, though, so...
I like went Ultra Instinct on that shit.
You're more prone to make stupid mistakes just because you're frustrated at it.
Yeah, you're on tilt. That's what they call it. I agree. I guess... Oh, man, I had a really good one, and I lost it. Shit, what was the game? You said you... What did you just say? You said, like, when you come back to something... Or, like, you usually just give it some break. Oh, yeah. The thing I've said is, like, it's like when you make yourself stay up really late to finish a game for the show, but it's like you're just getting worse and worse and worse, and really you're just wasting your time.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where, like, you're not only wasting your time because you're not going to be good enough because you're too slow and too tired, but you're also not getting the sleep that you need to get, and so the next day is going to be worse. So it's like a big downhill spiral.
Yep, that's the thing.
And you don't get any better. And if it's a game that's about, like, reaction time and stuff like that, like, it's just going to be a bad time.
Yeah.
You're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, you're not going to be having a good time. Yeah, I don't know. I've had it a few times, but usually I try to just plow through whatever I'm on and then call it good. So I try to avoid that as much as I can. So yeah, guys, are you prepared? Are you ready to talk about the Sega Dreamcast?
Yep.
Let's get right on in. So, the sixth generation of video game consoles is the one that I am probably the most familiar with, and I feel like you guys are pretty familiar with as well. We had four main consoles, PS2, Xbox, Dreamcast, GameCube. And when did this generation officially kick off, and what system kicked it off?
I'm going to say 99 with the Dreamcast.
Okay.
99 is a pretty good guess. So I'm going to go with that. Let's say... Goddamn. Was it the PlayStation 2?
No. The Sega Dreamcast released in Japan on December 27th, 1998.
Oh.
So Craig was 4 days off. The second one was the PS2, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, PS2 was 2000, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
We're not going to talk about that yet. So what was the Dreamcast on release? How much did it cost? Bonus points for with inflation. I'll give you a point for 1999
Okay.
because you were 4 days away. 5 days, I guess. I'm going to keep track of points this time, too, because I never actually keep track.
Trying to remember how much the PS2 was.
It was probably retailing for about.
I'm going to say $250.
It's probably retailing for $4.99.
On release? Craig, you said $250?
Yeah.
$199.99, and with
Damn.
inflation, that's $300. So it's a $300 console. That's pretty decent.
Yeah.
We shit our pants when it gets up to like $600 or so. That's when we start like freaking out. $300 is actually not too bad.
Yeah, I don't think any of them got the 600 outside of like PS3 and then the super early consoles.
Yeah, none of them have been that bad.
And the super early ones were with inflation, so...
Yeah. So, the Dreamcast. Sega's 18-year console run would end with this console. This is the end of Sega making consoles. While it was the first to release, the Dreamcast sold a mere how many million copies? Your consoles. I'll give you the other one, too, Craig. That was close enough.
Let's go...
Points. Points for all.
feel like I'm going to lowball this, but let's go 30 million.
Okay.
31 million.
Are you going to go 31?
Fucking asshole.
35 million.
9.13 million consoles.
Oh,
What?
That's real bad.
Yeah, I was like, at first I was like, I'm gonna go 10 million, but I was like, no, I always lowball it
Yeah,
in
that's
these
going to
figures.
set the statistics for the games now.
Yeah.
How many games
Yeah.
cost.
Keep that in mind when we get to the games. Yeah, it's surprisingly
Okay,
sad.
so only it was 9 point what?
9.13 million. That's terrible.
Man, that's not even close to 10 million.
The fucking Vita outsold this by like a lot. Like,
Well, yeah, but the Vita was super popular in Japan at least. So.
yeah. So the Japanese release of the console was less than inspiring, but the U.S. release was actually decently successful. The main problem was that Sony was hyping the shit out of their PlayStation 2. Sega continued to price cut the console to combat some of this hype, which caused significant financial issues within the company. Upon a change in leadership, Sega officially withdrew from the console war on what day? What year?
May 27th, 2002.
Okay.
Well, this is a very specific answer.
You said what day?
Yeah.
What year?
Okay. I don't know. Okay, let's go with June 5th, 2003.
Cameron is closer, but too far away anyway. It's March 31st, 2001.
No.
So it started in 5 days before 2000, and they ended in 01, so it was not great. So Sega Saturn was extremely expensive to make and ultimately ended up being a loss to the company. To combat these horrendous costs, this time around Sega decided to use off-the-shelf components. This also prevented one of Saturn's biggest issues. The console was difficult to create games for due to its complexity. So they kind of learned their lesson a little bit when it came to the Sega Saturn's big failing points. So its release in Japan was smaller than anticipated, but the marketing campaign hit real hard in the United States. So despite that the console sales were less than impressive, and so was the third-party support, the console was well reviewed and still holds a special place in many a heart for its innovative titles and ports of Naomi arcade games. The Dreamcast was also the first console to come with what? Cameron? For what?
The first console to come with a screen on the controller?
No. It was the first console to come with a built-in modem for internet support and online play,
Okay.
marking the beginning of one of the most important evolutions in gaming. This decision was pushed by a Chinese economist named Brad Huang, who eventually actually became the CEO of what?
Sega.
Close.
Huawei.
Sega.com. But was met with massive opposition due to it adding how much to the cost of each console, each Dreamcast, for them to include the modem for internet support and online play.
It was $85 per unit.
I'll go 90.
15. Jesus, it only cost
$15?
200. Yeah, they didn't want to add it for $15.
That's not that expensive. What the fuck?
No, not super. So Sega eventually went with the GD-ROM, or Gigabyte Disk Read-Only Memory, rather than the more expensive DVD-ROM that was becoming popular. This not only assisted in their goal of reducing costs, but it was actually more difficult to pirate or copy their games. And it would sometimes require the removal of some of the game's features to do so. I guess the way they created games on this made it so like you could bootleg stuff, but parts of the game like wouldn't be there for whatever reason. It was just really hard to pull it off. So Sega was confident and felt that this was going to be their comeback console. They ended up running a naming campaign with over how many entries before sticking with the Dreamcast name?
With how many entries?
Yeah, into the naming contest.
Let's go with
150.
72.
5,000 people.
Ah! Bitch.
The console was
5,000 different names.
Yeah. Well, different entries. I wonder if Dreamcast was in there twice, and so they were like, "Fuck it, let's do this one." So the console was
At least 2
actually
people want this.
massively understocked in the beginning, namely due to a high failure rate in their chipset. And unlike Microsoft, they actually did something about it before they sent it out to the fucking public. So more than half of the very limited initial stock of consoles sold out during the pre-order phase of that console. And upon its Japanese release, the entire stock was sold out. How quickly?
Wait, what?
So when they released it in
your
Japan,
entire stock.
how quickly did it sell out? Every unit in Japan.
How long did it take to sell out?
Yeah.
Upon release?
Yep.
3 days. No, let's go with a week.
I'll go with 2 weeks.
It was a day.
Oh.
Which is pretty impressive, although they lost a lot of their stock, apparently, because of the fuck-ups. So the console had how many games upon release in Japan?
Upon release, I'm going to say 23.
Okay.
8.
I'll give it to Cameron. 4 games on release.
4?
Yeah, that's horrible, isn't it?
God.
Yeah, that's why it didn't fucking make it, because it's a trash heap. And then which of their ports, a port of one of their fighting games, would sell well out of these 4 initial release games? It's a popular Sega fighter. Fighter is in the name as well.
King of Fighters?
No.
It's not King of Fighters?
No.
Virtua Fighter?
Virtua Fighter what?
Virtua
2?
Fighter 3D.
Virtua Fighter 3.
Virtua.
No D, just 3. So the company believes that an additional how many consoles would have sold if the supply chain was better?
How much do they believe? Like we have to,
Yeah.
we have to guess on their guess.
Yes, on their guess. That's right.
We have to,
What is this?
We have to come up with a fictional number for their fictional number. All right,
if we had the stock, we'd have sold 45 million consoles.
Yeah.
Yes, if it's the stock issue.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
That was my guess too.
400 million? Okay, yeah.
45 million.
It's not 45 million.
Let's go with it's 65 million.
They think they could have gotten through another 200,000 to 300,000 on like launch if it was better. So the console sold
wait, this
about.
was for launch?
Yeah. So,
Oh, I thought you were talking like lifetime.
no, I don't think they could have ever sold that many, even if they would have made twice that much or twice that many. The console sold about 100,000 less units than the company desired, And Namco's What game was the first break that they had with a stock increase of 17% per share when it came out.
Soul Edge?
Close. One of those words is in the title. And you guys have played these games for a long
Soul
time.
Calibur, but it was
Yeah.
originally called Soul Edge. That was the first game.
I guess Soul Calibur, that was the one that was the first kind of breakthrough that they had. Because up to this point, they had been getting fucked over and all of their stock, like everything was starting to become worthless. And it was not great. But Soul Calibur kind of helped break them through some of that. But their luck didn't hold, as we all know. And the third biggest video game publisher, Blank, announced that they would not develop games for the Sega Dreamcast. Third biggest video game publisher. They're still a very large video game publisher today. I don't know if they're third. They might be higher, but...
Fuck.
I can give you one more hint. They're the evil one.
EA?
Yeah, EA. So they said that they're not going to develop games for the system. Their main reason is that Sega was bouncing all over the place with the modem and picked a widely unknown player for the system, causing EA developers to look at the console in a bad light. A lot of the developers over at EA didn't want to develop games for this console because it had a weird infrastructure. Like, they didn't want to deal with it.
EA's been singing that song for decades.
Yeah.
Dude,
EA
they don't want to bring any games to the Switch. And they're like, yeah, our games don't really sell well on the Nintendo systems. I'm like, when was the last time you put an EA game on a Nintendo system, EA?
Yeah,
Because
maybe...
you haven't had one since, like, I think the Wii and maybe before that. How would you even know?
Yeah. So, Sega teamed up with What Game Company to ensure a more successful U.S. launch. It's a big game company, also affiliated with fighting games. Apparently that's the only time they have any success. But they had them like kind of run a campaign in the States with them.
Is it SNK?
No.
Capcom?
No.
Konami.
No.
Bandai Namco?
No, they started a game that we've recently played.
Midway?
Yeah, it was Midway Games. So they teamed up with Midway to kind of ensure a more successful U.S. launch, because Midway has been in the U.S. for a while. Mortal Kombat's a big deal. They've made successful arcade games, at the very least. And they ended up pre-selling how many Dreamcast units in the States? So before it came out, they only sold 9 million total, remember, but how many did they get pre-sales on prior to that?
$4 million.
$4 million?
Let's go with 1.8 million.
Okay, Cameron.
Damn it, 3 million.
300,000.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be low.
It's kind of a sad amount. So the most interesting of the
fuck,
pre-launch...
Midway?
Yeah.
What did we hire you for?
Yeah, what are you doing for us? So the most interesting of these pre-launch promotions that they ran actually allowed you to rent the system from the large movie retailer, what?
Blockbuster?
Not Blockbuster.
Hollywood Video?
Hollywood Video, yep. I remember being able to rent the PlayStation 2 when it came out from Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. I never actually did, but I was like, that's what I wanted to spend my money on, is like renting a PS2 for the weekend and just playing the shit out of it. So the launch in the U.S. was actually pretty successful, and they were surprised by how well it did in the beginning. But how many games did the system have on launch in the United States? So remember, we had 4 at launch
How many years has it been?
in Japan.
Yeah.
It's been, it's like later the next year. A little earlier in the year after when it came out in Japan. I believe is what it was.
I'm going to go with 18 again.
Okay.
8 games.
18 is right on. So the library had 18 games on launch, and Sega set a new sales record by selling more than how many units in the first 24 hours, adding $98.4 million to the company. So they made $98.4 million, and the console cost was $200.
Can't do fucking math like that.
Can you repeat the question?
Got your calculator? I don't know. How many? They said
Better not be calculating, Cam, you fuck.
They set a new sales record by selling more than how many units in the first 24 hours in the U.S., adding $98.4 million to their company.
Is this including the 300,000 or whatever, or 30,000 that was pre-ordered?
No.
Okay. This is day one?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go 2.5 million.
Okay.
$400,000.
Cameron is actually not too far. They sold 225,000 units. That's close enough.
Did you calculate it? You fuck.
Well, I don't know how you got fucking millions on a console that's Craig. If it sold two,
It was a fucking guess, dude. I don't know.
2 million and they only made 98 million. Craig, that's like nothing for the console. That's like $50 each.
Dude, it was a fucking random
Fuck,
guess.
man.
All right.
God. So the console's U.S. sales, within 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks, the console's U.S. sales surpassed how many units? All right, so we know they sold. We know how many they pre-sold, and we know how many they fucking sold.
Wait,
Yeah,
what is the
it's just
question? Ask it again.
Within the first 2 weeks, how many have they sold in the U.S.? What mark are they past?
How many consoles they sold in the U.S.?
Yeah.
In the first week?
I thought
2
like
weeks.
their initial launch, they did like just over 300,000 units.
Okay.
And so within the first week, probably a fraction of that. Let's just go with 100,000 units.
No, I mean like total.
Total like,
Total
in
sales.
the U.S.
In the U.S., the first 2 weeks.
Let's go 1 million.
It's all right. Fuck it. It's 500,000. It's the first number and the second number. They passed that, so it's selling pretty well. They're pretty excited about the console, but by Christmas of 1999, Sega held 31% of the North American game market. But once again, this would not last for Sega. The success is dying. The U.S. sales, even after the initial 1.5 million units moved, would decline as early as January 2000. The company had $404 million in loss with the fiscal year ending in March 2000, which slightly surpassed the previous year's loss, making it the third reported loss in a row. These numbers came amidst a higher than anticipated release numbers in the European and U.S. markets, but the profitability suffered greatly due to the investments necessary to have a successful launch in these regions. To prepare for the launch of the PS2 in the U.S., Sega launched its own ISP, which is... I mentioned it before. That was one of the questions. So they have their own internet service.
Oh, Sega.com?
Sega.com.
I mean, yeah, ISP is internet service provider, so.
Yeah.
So when did they launch SegaNet, which is what they called the online gaming service? What day did they launch that?
The day of release?
No. But sadly, they probably would have done really well if they had it on launch.
So the thing came with the ability to go online, but they didn't actually have anything set up till later?
Yes. It's a fucking failure, man.
Okay,
I don't know what to say.
well...
We make fun of companies for now for releasing unfinished products.
Yeah, we make fun of fucking day one patches. This is a day not even close to day one add-on to something that was there the whole time.
That's ridiculous. Why would they wait so long?
I don't know.
It's okay.
But how long is the question?
How long after release?
Yeah, what day?
Why are you asking the day specifically? It's fucked up.
Well,
April-
whoever's closer. you know.
April 27th, 1962.
62. They went back in the past and set it up.
They probably
Let's
made
go with the hard. Let's go with the hard. April 23rd.
Okay, what was the launch
2002.
date again?
December 27th,
1998.
27th, 1999.
Oh, it was 99?
Mhm.
You said it was 98.
No, it was 99. So it came out a few months before the PS2, which was in 2000. Which you should remember for like...
Well, no, because I guessed 99 and you said it was 98.
You did say 98.
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. It is 98.
Okay.
Oh, man, that makes it even worse. Ugh. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Let's go a full year later.
So, 99, it actually came out on September 7th, 2000.
What?
Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine being like, oh my God, we can play this online, but then having to wait 2 years. 2+ years to actually do it.
Yeah, like 2.5. God.
Yeah,
it's
that's-
ridiculous.
But how much did a Sega Net account cost a month?
Oh, and they charged him for it too?
Yeah.
Fuck that. Okay, monthly, let's say $10. $10 a month.
Okay, $10 a month.
$15 a month.
Cameron is closest, $21.95
Fuck
a
you.
month for this service that came out this much later. So they kind of put all of their chickens in one basket and even offered a free year of their internet service for every console sold in Japan. And this came after offering a $200 rebate to any Dreamcast owner who purchased 2 years of internet access from Sega.com. Sega also reduced the price of the Dreamcast in the U.S. to $149 to combat the PS2, and also offered a rebate for the entire cost of the console with an 18-month Sega Net subscription, in addition to a free Dreamcast keyboard. This only escalated their losses and they failed to meet their goal of 5 million consoles sold by the end of 2000. How many did they reach by that time? So they didn't hit 5 million. That was kind of a benchmark that they had set.
Let's go with 3.8.
Okay.
4.5.
Even less. They just barely went over 3 million by the end of the year 2000. So
Damn.
they failed it by like 40%. They hoped that a shortage at the time of the PS2 during the holiday season of 2000 would help out and kind of boost their numbers a little bit. But the OG PlayStation actually ended up just selling a shitload instead. so he got it anyway. And then upon deciding that Sega would become a consoleless company and focus on their software instead, they eventually reduced the console to $99 to get rid of unsold inventory, which at the time was around 930,000 units. So they kept price slashing and price slashing. They made it $79 at one time, and ultimately, how low did it get to clear out the system from all the stores it was in? What was the cheapest cost for a new Dreamcast?
$50.
$59.99.
$49.95, and that's what it
Yeah.
took to get these fuckers off the shelf. That is
Damn.
crazy.
Can you imagine that, though? Like, it's just... As a consumer, you're like, oh, look how much they're price cutting it. It must suck so bad.
Yeah, it just makes it worse every time they price cut. Like, I was going to buy it, but then it was $30 less. It's probably a piece of shit. So, nearly a third of the company's Tokyo workforce was laid off in 2001 during its restructure. Games came out for the Dreamcast until about midway through the year 2002, and Japan continued to support repairs for the console until 2007. After a total of 5 years of being in the red, Sega finally showed a profit in March of 2003, marking an end to their financial holocaust. So, Sega's controller is probably the biggest thing that stands out to me about the Dreamcast. And it has a VMU, which is a volatile memory unit, an LCD screen that was implemented as part of a few games. I guess you could like call audible plays and like shit like that in NFL 2K, or you could raise virtual pets in Sonic Adventure using this little screen. And I remember the virtual pet thing being, it was like a Tamagotchi kind of thing almost, that you could use the little screen as. Sega Fishing had a reel and rod motion controller and a keyboard, and apparently you were able to play.
I remember hearing about that.
You were able to play Soul Calibur with the fishing rod, which sounds awesome. I want to see some Soul Calibur runs online where he's using the fishing rod. There have been some who have actually sort of cited this fishing rod as the predecessor to the Wii Remote. And Dreamcast also had the ability to connect to SNK's What mobile system?
I don't know, snk.net?
No, not internet. This is a system. It's a handheld.
Oh, I don't fucking know. I didn't know SNK made one.
We talked about it before, I think.
Did we?
I feel like we did. It's got a really annoying name. The Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Oh, the Neo Geo. Okay.
It also had what they called the Blank, which was a digital camera that could utilize video chat online and exchange pictures. So what was the Dreamcast's camera called?
Dream Pix.
It's close.
Are you serious?
Kinda, yeah. Dream what? What is a camera?
Dream camera. Dream. I don't know.
Another word for a camera. Something that you see out of.
Dream aperture?
No, less complex. Dream Eye. God damn it. The Dream Eye. That's what it was called. I don't know why you would want to do.
Why would you say camera over and over
Well,
again?
it's like it's because it's a camera, but like, what's another? What does a camera do? You know, it's an eye.
A camera takes pictures. Eyes see.
Yeah, but the camera sees too.
No, a camera doesn't see.
If there's no one looking at it, it still sees.
God damn it, Schweiss.
You should have said, when you look at a photo, how do you perceive it?
I guess I could have made it even easier, but
I spy.
Yeah. So I still kind of feel like the system is sort of revered by retro gamers. I don't really have any experience with the console myself, but it does kind of seem like one of those ones that, I don't know, it's like the hipster choice, you know? Like, they're like, oh, yeah, the Dreamcast was so cool, so awesome, as they, like, sip from their cold brew with their fucking...
I never had an experience with the Dreamcast, but I do remember a friend thinking he was so cool because he had a Dreamcast.
Yeah, that was like the thing that was like, oh, I'm better than you. You got a PS2? Pff, I got a Dreamcast.
The far better system.
You got the superior system?
You got the best system ever made? Well, I got a Dreamcast, so fuck you. Yeah, I barely even played. Like, I saw the Dreamcast. I didn't really even play anything on it. I remember watching one of my buddies play Tony Hawk Pro Skater on it, and it seemed fine. Like, it didn't seem that different. I had played it on the PS1, so, like, that was last gen, and then we had the current gen Dreamcast, and it didn't really seem... Honestly, it didn't seem that much better.
Yeah.
So now, guys, the last thing we want to do... Let's talk about game sales. So, keep in mind when we're talking about this, how the fucking games, like how poorly the console sold. 9.13 million consoles. So that's every console sold. Under 10 million. So guys, can you guess any of the top 10 selling Dreamcast games? You'll get points for each one you guess, and then you can get points for guessing how many copies.
Okay.
But we'll do just the 10 games. Like
First, okay. So Calibur, Virtua Fighter 3, Shenmue.
I have no idea of any of the games released on this console at all.
I'm only guessing the ones that I actually know exist.
A Sonic game, probably.
which Sonic game?
Yeah, but a game. Okay, I call it Sonic. It's mine. My guess.
Okay. I'll just let you have Sonic.
Sega Fishing.
Yeah, they did have a fishing rod. It wasn't for Soul Calibur, even though it looked like it was pretty fun.
It totally is for Soul Calibur. I'm just kidding. They just didn't know it yet when they released it.
Oh man, what racing games did Midway make?
Mortal Kombat.
Fuck, I can't remember any racing games Midway made.
There was that Ferrari touring game, the one where you could do drifts and stuff to get hearts. That game.
Okay. There are a couple big ones that you guys are leaving out. And I gave you Sonic Adventure.
Yes.
I don't know. Tell us.
So, top 10 from worst to best selling J-League Pro Soccer Club, number 10.
That's fake.
Virtua Fighter 3,
Nope.
number 9. Sega Rally Championship, Seaman,
Nope.
NFL
Seaman?
Seaman, yeah. NFL 2K1. It's fucking real. It's the 7th best selling game on this shithole console.
Is it like C-man?
No, it's just Seaman, one word.
I don't know why I'm laughing at that.
It looks pretty bad, but so NFL 2K1, Resident Evil Code Veronica, that was one of the ones that I guessed. Shenmue, or whatever Caleb said. NFL 2K, Crazy Taxi, which is one of the ones that I guessed.
Yeah, I should have guessed that.
And then the best-selling one was Sonic Adventure. So Craig gets 3.
That sucks on your next best-selling game's Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool game.
It was
though.
supposed to be really popular at the time, though.
They actually...
I think that one came out for PS1 or 2 as well.
I don't remember which one it came out on, but you know the Simpsons like hit and run game? That's just a rip-off of Crazy Taxi. It's like the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's basically the same.
That's a great game, by the way. Simpsons Hit and Run. It's fucking fun. Love playing that game. So that's where we are as far as the top 10 selling games. But, guys, how many copies did J-League Pro Soccer Club sell?
This one's number 10.
Number 10.
And there's only like 9.1 million.
Yeah,
units,
under 10
right?
million consoles sold, which is... Dude, that is so bad. That is so bad.
Let's go with 26,000.
I was going to go with 15,000.
It's 0.36 million, so 360,000.
Oh, we super lowballed it.
Yeah. For once,
Well,
you guys lowball.
I guess if the people are going to own like a tenth of... if these are the top 10 games, you gotta like actually have it for most of the consoles.
Right. So, Virtua Fighter 3, how many copies did this sell? This was one that they considered a success,
Okay.
but it's still the 9th.
Let's go with 1.4 million.
Okay.
1 point. Shit, dude. Let's just go with 2 million copies sold.
0.37 million.
370,000.
Yeah, 370,000. And they considered it successful on launch, at least. Sega Rally Championship.
Wait. What was the release of the fucking 10th game? How many did that one sell?
360,000. And then 370,000 for Virtua Fighter.
Okay.
So apparently J-League Pro Soccer Club is pretty bitchin'. Kind of want to get it and like review the top 10 fucking selling games on the Dreamcast.
So you could play that C-Man.
I kind of want to play Seaman, yeah. Play with some Seaman.
Seaman outbreak.
Yeah, stomp some Seaman through the drain. Get it out of there. Don't want to see it.
Waffle stomp.
Yeah, waffle stomp. Waffle stomp Seaman. Sega Rally Championship. You guys are moving a little too fast on the sales.
Okay.
500.
There are some that have sold over 1 million. Like,
Okay. Let's go with 400,000
for Sega Rally.
Yes.
Okay, Cameron.
I said 500,000.
Oh, okay. Caleb was pretty close. 0.41 million, so 410,000 copies for Sega Rally Championship. All right, guys. Seaman.
All right. Let's go with $500,000 for the Seaman.
Okay.
Every ejaculate contains about 1.4 trillion. Let's go with. Damn it! You can't. I was gonna go 500,000, Craig.
Then go for it too. We can just tie on that one.
You could go
450,000.
wrong direction.
Damn it!
0.52 million, so 520,000 copies of Seaman were sold. NFL 2K11. I'll give you guys a hint. This one is more. This is it's a good amount more.
Significantly more, huh?
Yeah.
All right, let's go with
It's at least twice as much as Seaman.
1.4 million then.
Okay. I guess 1.4 is double 0.52 apparently.
Well, I can't guess anything else.
You're going 1.4?
I mean, you said double, right?
It's at least
0.52.
double.
Okay.
But what is double of 0.52?
Okay.
It's not 1.4.
No.
Well, you said it's at least double.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it could be 1.4. But that's not what 2 times 0.52 is. Mm-hmm.
Let's just go 1 million. $1,004,000.
What?
1.04.
1.09 million copies for NFL 2K1. I'll give that one to Cameron. So it's starting to. This is more than double Seaman. It's twice the semen that Seaman has in this game. What about Resident
Very
Evil?
fertile.
Yeah, very fertile sales. Seaman is kind of lackluster.
Oh no, he's gonna blow.
Oh shit! Oh man, he spewed. He should have taken a drink of orange juice.
God, fuck you guys.
You gotta wait until Seaman is at least 2 games away, and then you could be beyond the point of laughing at Seaman.
I couldn't fucking breathe.
He's just sitting there helpless with his mouth full of orange juice, trying to breathe and laugh at the same time. I feel like that was a low tier, like lowbrow joke too.
No, I'm more laughing now at fucking the spew.
God. Yeah, you just can't be thinking about semen while you're drinking it. Is that pulp free? Or
Thank God.
yeah, kind of chunky in here. I always like pulpy orange juice personally, but
Yeah, I prefer the pulp.
it's good. Yeah, it's kind of nice that you didn't have the pulp this time though, because that's a little bit gross. Feeling those little squiggly chunks of pulp floating around in your mouth while we're talking about semen sales.
I wonder what Seaman's going for nowadays.
I don't know. Let's look at the cost of Seaman.
Just in case you know.
The funny thing is the look at the cover of it.
Caution, Seaman. Let me put my glasses on. Looks like a fucking frog human.
Yeah, it's a frog man.
It's like what?
Was it like their version of Frogger on the Dreamcast?
It's like the Black Lagoon creature.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he is.
Ooh.
Open box, $43.99. Pre-owned, $26. So a brand new one's $150. That's up there, but honestly, it doesn't seem like it's that hard of a. Oh man, dude, we should Let's look at it. Let's look and see what Seaman looks like.
You don't know what semen looks like?
No.
You should.
Oh my god. First thing we see is like semen.
What's with this laughing?
Yeah, what's the fucking baby?
This game's a fucking trip. What is this?
Got a big hand holding up a fish with a man's face.
What is this?
Now you're tapping on the semen.
What the fuck?
What?
What is this?
Some fucking kind of homunculus. You fucking man-faced baby laughing fish. What the fuck is this?
I kind of want to play that, actually. That looks pretty fucking crazy. That looks like madness. Absolute madness. Fucking no wonder it only sold 520,000 copies. You just like...
Man, that'd be disturbing to walk in on, so I'm playing that.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck is on your screen right now? Fucking tapping on the little baby fish with a man's face on it.
With that fucking laughter.
Yeah. I think we gotta play Seaman, dude.
No.
I think we gotta, man. I don't think there's any way around it. So, Resident Evil Code Veronica, how many copies did that sell?
Let's go 1.6 million.
All right.
1.9.
1.14.
Ooh.
So
what?
even the Resident Evil sold like shit. Shenmue, or Shenmue, whatever you called it, Greg. That's number 4.
Let's go 1.3.
Okay.
1.8.
1.18.
God damn.
Yeah.
What's with all these games only being like barely a million?
Only 5 of them, or no, 6, I guess, broke 1 million. And then the one underneath the million is 500,000. So it's like, it's real bad. NFL 2K. So the first 2K game on the...
1.2.
Okay.
1.19.
1.2 is right on.
Damn it.
Woo!
1.19 is very close. 1.2 million copies for NFL 2K. Crazy Taxi.
All right. 1.24.
1.3.
I mean, Cameron was closer, but it's 1.81 million. So a 600,000.
Oh, now we're getting up there.
Yeah. Now we're talking big
We're
dick
almost
numbers.
we're almost to the 2 mil mark.
That's right. Sonic Adventure, the best-selling game on the Sega Dreamcast. How many million copies did it sell?
Let's go 1.91.
Okay.
2.1.
Cameron is closest. 2.42 million was the best-selling game on this console that sold 9 million units. So that is it for the Dreamcast write-up that I made. It kind of revolutionized gaming in a lot of ways, as far as like the way, what they did with the controller, like having like the separate little screen.
Ahead of their time.
It was kind of, it was really ahead of their time, and they were
behind our time.
And behind our time too at the same time. They were both ahead yet behind. I feel like Sega really killed it with the Genesis, and then everything after that was just a failure. And I'm glad that Sega still exists, I guess. Haven't really played many of their games since then.
Aren't they mostly just a gambling machine company now, like Konami?
They publish. I think they published Bayonetta, and they published.
Well, they actually made that one.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah, and the Yakuza games, they do that one, and a few others.
Yeah, they make
The
games.
Sonic
still.
games, like Sonic Mania, I think they let somebody else do, but they published it.
Yeah, so they've taken a big back seat, and like I said, they started finally making money again after getting out of the console wars. So there used to be so many gaming consoles on the market. It was crazy. It was so oversaturated, and now we've pretty much gotten to the point where you've got your winners and you've got your losers, and you've got, of course, like people that'll play mobile games and they'll use the Fire Stick to play games, but that's not really a big mainstream console. Like now, it's just Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo that are kind of running the show, and Steam tried to get in with their Steam box, but that didn't work out very well.
Yeah, but the PC gaming market is you're never going to see like as many consoles as we have before because we have PC now. So
I don't know.
PC.
PC exists before too, though.
Yeah,
the PS4 just.
But any smaller name brand.
Yeah. There's not going to be
released on the PC.
Yeah, they won't go. They won't go with their own little device. They'll go on PC, whatever game they're doing. PS4 just barely surpassed. I think it was 100 million units sold, and now I think it's the fastest selling game console. Is what I think I read the other day. So that one's doing really well. The Switch is obviously selling like crazy. Pretty much anytime Nintendo puts something out that doesn't fuck up, like they'll do really well. But Sega, I don't know, man. I think we all have good experiences with the Dreamcast, or not the Dreamcast, the Genesis. And I never even played a Sega Saturn. Like
me neither.
Not once.
Yeah.
And then I saw a Dreamcast. Like you could see the heavy downfall after the Genesis. Like from all of us starting out there, and then to like no one seeing a Saturn, and then one of us seeing a Dreamcast one time. And then also I remember Kmart. They had Dreamcast games like in 2009. Like they
Really?
just hadn't sold through. Yeah, they hadn't sold through all of their fucking Sega Dreamcast games.
They just kept them out.
Yeah, they just keep them until they
Yeah,
sell.
Kmart's too poor to replace them.
Yeah,
Pretty
Kmart's
much,
too
yeah.
shitty and poor to get anything to put in its
Kmart's
place.
gone now.
It is,
so.
yeah. Shopko, I also saw I saw Dreamcast games at Shopko before too, which I'm surprised they lasted as long as they did, because I was almost always the only one in Shopko when I was there buying movie theater candy. But that was
the one
of the
next to the Dollar Theater, huh?
Yeah, in
Yeah, that's
Provo
the
here.
same place I went to.
Yeah. They had Dreamcast games for a long time. And it's not like, I don't know, it seemed like it just failed, and it did. It didn't do very well at all. It's a console I have pretty limited experience with. I do kind of want to play Seaman, but that's kind of it. Yeah, that's kind of the only game from the Dreamcast that I even want to put in my time for. It's something about that, man. Something about the face on the fish body. I was expecting something more horror-ish.
Yeah, with like the fucking cover.
Yeah, with like the frog with the
How do you
human
get
body.
horror out of that?
Well, I mean, what we saw was
I'd
kind
be
of
afraid.
horrific.
I guess I am kind of afraid of what we saw. Yeah.
I guess it's designing homunculi. This a combination of human and animal genes.
Yeah. Yeah, you're playing God. You're splicing the genes together.
Oh man, what if you have to like raise the fish man to become the Black Lagoon creature?
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, you're like creating multiple Black Lagoon creatures, and you're going to send out the best one to terrorize.
You have to touch him with the semen. To
Yeah,
make him grow.
That's right. Yeah, the first seaman you ever hatch, you have to use to guide the others to victory.
God, I can't believe there's like actual semen in that fucking.
Yeah, little squiggles. Yeah, that was kind of not expected. But next time, guys, we're going to talk about the GameCube, and we'll see.
Good.
We'll see how that fares against the Dreamcast. I don't really know how successful the GameCube was. I know roundabout how many units it sold, and I know it's the biggest games, but that'll be another kind of a sort of a learning experience for me too.
Did GameCube come out before PS2?
No. I just want to save the best for last, so. And the one that we're most familiar with the last. Although, is Cameron familiar with PS2?
Then we should do Xbox next.
No.
but I'm familiar with Xbox, and so is Cameron.
I'm definitely more familiar with Xbox.
So should I just do them in order then? I guess I could do them in release order. Just do PS2 next time. And then the GameCube, and then the Xbox 2 months after the GameCube.
All right.
So we could do that. We could do them in order. We can do PS2 next time. Yeah, this is the one, though. This is the one that's, like, super awkward. And then...
I wasn't even aware this was, like, part of this generation.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't have its...
I thought it was, like, around PS1 time.
It
like,
came out...
a little bit more in PS1's time.
Yeah, it was the first one to come out, I mean, and it was 1998. And the next one didn't come out until March of 2000. So this is kind of the Nintendo Switch of Sega, where they have the Wii U, but then they just kick it off with the next one while everyone else is like, yeah, go ahead, we're going to keep doing PS4 and Xbox One kind of a thing. That's essentially what this was. So it's kind of like Sega Saturn, 1.5. But it failed them, and they went out. They went out like fucking a year after Xbox came to market, which is really sad. But yeah, that's all I got on the Sega Dreamcast. Guys, let us know your experience with the Sega Dreamcast. Have you played Seaman? Is it worth picking up and playing on a fucking Dreamcast? What were your favorite games on the Dreamcast? If they weren't listed in today's episode, let us know. I'm excited to get to PS2, I guess, next time, because tons of experience with that from me and Craig. I'm still playing PS2 games this week, even, so lots of time spent on that, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So, guys, if you want to support the show, patreon.com/Ultima Final Fantasy. Thank you.
Ultimate Final Fantasy?
Or Nude Clan, sorry. /Nude Clan. You can go to Ultima, too, if you want.
No. These guys go to Nude Clan.
Yeah, these guys fuck, so they go to Nude Clan. Thank you to new patrons Nicholas Capasso and James Dorsey. We really appreciate you. And we also appreciate everyone else. Ainsley, Brad Perrick, Angrass Black Dude, Victor Hart, Suzanne Bardsley, Ryan McPherson, James Gameboy, Penguin Mage, David Portnow, Joseph Edward Elmore, William Flores, Steve Huffman, Alex Rads, Digimass, Austin Bracken, Jim Lee, Troy Kavanaugh, Douglas Hopkins, Jared Litch, Kelsey Rose, Sear, Lania Goze, Jared Capino, Eric Harrelson, Kyoki, DK Asuna, Chase Seriaslani, Riathmus, Skull Hottie, and A for Extreme. Thank you guys for your support. You can go on there. You can give us whatever you want a month. You can also do the best thing for yourself and for us, audibletrial.com/Nude Clan. Gotta start reading gonna finish the Dark Tower series. I have a feeling I'm going to be very disappointed in the end.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Why's that?
Because I think I know how it's going to end, and it's going to not make me happy.
How many books do you have left?
I have the last one, and then I think half of the second to last one, so like a total of like 30 hours of listening.
Are they good up to this point?
Yeah, there's some really good ones. I've liked a lot of it, but it's starting to get to the point where like I'm kind of getting the redemption of Althalis thing that Cameron has, where like they have their little things that they say, and like they have to say, like two people will be talking, and then someone has to interrupt with their thing that they always say, and I'm just like, God, just fucking shut up, man. Nobody cares about you.
No one says it like that over and over again.
Yeah, like God, like they have their just little like it's not really a catchphrase as much. Sometimes it is in these, but like it's just they have to have their little one-liner. It's like you got to have your fucking 2 cents. It's irritating, and I don't know. It's starting to bother the shit out of me sometimes, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up, man. Nobody cares about you. No one's talking to you. Just shut up. Just sit there in silence. But after that...
kind of like in the Taltosh books, whatever that Craig's telling me to read right now. His favorite line whenever he's trying to explain something in a very roundabout and frustrating way, it's, shut up, Loyosh. And I just like, God, why does Loyosh stick around every time he tries to interject with anything?
Yeah, they just treat him like shit.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, and then the whole way, I don't like these books at all. Like,
really?
of all the books you've given me to read so far, these are
you
my
liked
least
them
favorite.
before when I showed it to you years ago.
I didn't read it years ago. I don't remember.
Yeah, you did.
I remembered. But it's just a very... Like, he's like, oh, I have a grand idea, and it's just like they're trying to keep it a secret from the reader, too. And they talk around the idea over and over again. People in the book are begging the characters in the book to fucking tell him the thing already, but he won't. Let's talk around it.
Yeah,
I had this wonderful idea.
He never tells
which
anybody anything.
Which then turns into an average idea that only works because the person writing the book made it work. It's stupid.
Yeah. So there's a couple things in there that are starting to bother me.
Writers.
Yeah. It's cool seeing it all tie into like a ton of other Stephen King books that I've read before, though.
Oh yeah, like what?
Like he plays around with the idea from 11/22/63. Father Callahan from the Salem's Lot is in the book. The world from where the Stand is in the book. Characters from the Stand, characters from other books. I think the clown is supposed to be in there too, Pennywise, but I haven't run into him yet. And just like similarities.
He's just bringing all of his universes together?
Yeah, which is kind of a cool idea, honestly. That I give him kudos for. But there's a couple things in there that just started to like grind my gears a little after a while. But I'm going to do that. I'm also going to do Wheel of Time because we're going to have that Wheel of Time show that's coming out, so I kind of want to read it before that happens. Same with The Dark Tower. They're making a Dark Tower TV show too.
Right after they made that failure of a Dark Tower movie.
Yeah. And I was considering doing a show on it.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, it's bad.
Like, what is it? Does it cover the entire thing?
No. I mean, it covers books 1 through 3, but it only has one of 3 companion characters to the gunslinger guy, and it's pretty shitty. It's a pretty shitty movie. Not just because, like, I like the books, but because it's just a bad movie. That was my I, Frankenstein of that year. My I, Frankenstein award went to The Dark Tower.
Nice.
Like 2 years ago. So yeah,
I, Frankenstein can't be dethroned.
I don't think so.
It's a low that it's hard to like achieve just because of how serious it was and how terrible it was.
Yeah,
it wasn't. I mean, it's just a masterpiece of disaster.
Yeah. It's easily the worst thing I've ever watched. So yeah, you can support us, audibletrial.com/NudeClan. Get your Audible, get your audiobooks. It's a good experience. Try the free trial out. If you don't like it, if it's not for you, then just don't renew. But I am loving it. It's a great program. There's that. You can donate to us directly on our website, paypal.com, or best way to donate, my favorite way, is just get more people listening, man. Share the podcast with a friend. Share it with 2 friends. They'll share it with a friend, and then we'll get some horrible reviews, and every once in a while we'll get some good ones. And speaking of, guys, we do have a review that I am dying to read.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it has an excellent name.
We have a new review, huh?
Yes. So this is a 5-star review, and the best part about it, easily the best part about this whole review, is the fucking name of the guy. It's titled, "You Got Any More of Them Games?" 5-star review from Anal Schweiss Fisting Gang 2.
2?
Yeah. And this makes me feel like the only way to necessitate the 2 at the end of that is because someone else has taken the username Anal Schweiss Fisting Gang.
And Anal Schweiss Fisting Gang 1.
Exactly. And Anal Schweiss Fisting Gang 1, we would be led
Sounds
to
like
assume.
There's a gang of gangs out there.
Yeah, there's a gang of gangs, and they're all going to fist me anally, is what I'm getting at this. So here's his review. Listening to these guys every Monday has been a great time sink. I enjoy their opinions, and even after dark, but I really enjoy listening to them explain games. A lot of times it's titles I've played and became bored with, but as soon as they beat it, I always go back. Keep it going, guys. Nude Clan needs to keep going. So far, I've gotten 5 people into the podcast. Oh, wow. Hopefully more to come.
Nice.
So, yeah, be like Anal Schweiss Fisting Gang 2 and gather friends who...
Gather your anal fisting gang.
Yeah, gather your anal fisting
certain
posse.
Things are just contagious, like anal Schweiss fisting gang.
Yeah.
Just a very infectious thing to go around.
It apparently is. I hope to see reviews from your friends Anal Schweiss Fisting Gang 1 and 3. And then just straight up, the original Anal Schweiss Fisting Gang.
We all know who the OG is, and you're sitting in his seat.
Yeah. Is it me or is it the wife?
It's you decide.
Yeah, you decide. So, guys,
So
thank
choose
you.
your own adventure.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. And I'm going to explain it again. So, Hog League, I've been giving you guys a few weeks to catch up because I was supposed to have 2 teams face each other, and I fucked it up. I said one on the show, and then the next episode I versed them against the wrong team, and that led to a team getting eliminated that wouldn't have otherwise gotten eliminated, right? And so what we decided to do, we all talked about, like, oh, we should just leave it. Some people said leave it. Some people said make it go back to the matchups originally. But I kind of did it both. So now, the week that I fucked up the matchup, I still have all the points from that week, the week after, this past week, and then I'm going to do this week. And so I'm going to keep the original matchup. So it's going to be the doesn't counts against fucking Matunica's Heroes, and then the Craig and the Bitches against Thy Death Squad. But I'm going to calculate all of the points from that week to the end of next week when I bundle them all together, and that's what they're going to use to face off.
Wait, I'm in the top 4?
Yeah.
How? I thought I lost like every fucking match except for the one against you.
Everyone went into the playoffs. Yeah.
How did everyone get into the playoffs?
Because we had a fucking 7-way tie for last place, and I can't just have 3 teams go to the playoffs.
All right.
Yeah, it was stupid. Next season should be easier because we won't have as many awful teams, I'm hoping. But we'll see how it all works out. But when this round ends and the next round, the final round, begins, it's going to be all of the points again. Because the problem is like I said, oh, you guys are in the final round, and then angry-ass black dude goes and beats like 20 fighting games in 1 week, thinking he's in the final round and they're going to win. So I'm not taking the points from that final round. He's still going to have every single point he's earned since I fucked up until we calculate the total for the final round, and that'll all count towards the final round. So that way it's fair for the people that got wrongfully eliminated, and it's fair for the people that were fucking doing all this extra shit to get all these points for the last round when it's not the last round. So that's what's going on. All you guys are still in. Unless you're on one of the teams that's 6 teams that aren't in, but you'll get all of the points in like a huge accumulative manner for each of the 2 remaining rounds. So get your hog in. It's still worth it. It's still going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be so many points to fucking play off against each other, but it's almost done, and then we'll do season 2, and I'll try to not fuck it up like I did this time. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Hope you enjoyed hanging out with us. Please try to join me in Resident Evil Outbreak, because I'm super excited about that. Online, I tweeted some stuff out about it. You can follow it there. I am at UFF Podcast.
At Obsidian Ba.
At Nude Clan Cam.
And you can follow the show at Nude Clan Podcast. That's where you can find polls and the like. So, guys, we will see you again next time.
Enjoy the nude.
It's time to get good.
Live always in the nude. Oh, yeah.
Game over, man. Game over. What are we gonna do now? Too bad, you
escape.